Hello everybody and welcome back. I am the Pompkin King, and in today's episode we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm a little burnt out on Planet Coaster. I need to kind of recharge my batteries a little bit, so we're going to be playing some Planet Zoo today. I've been wanting to build a proper zoo in this game for a while, so let's go ahead and jump into today's episode. We're going to be building a park called Wild World, where I'll be able to really experiment with some of the stuff that I wanted to do here in Planet Zoo. So down below us we have this plaza here. I'm going to be coming down in just a second here. If you look around, this is what I'm calling Afro-Eurasian architecture. And what I wanted to do here was I wanted to create an architectural style that was the central feature of African, European, and Asian styles. Now, how do you find an average architectural style? What I did was I look at the geographic center of an area, and that will be where the most trade happens, the most exchange of ideas happens. So that is where your architectural median is going to be. Once you know where that is, you can blend those together and you can create a new style of architecture. So I'm actually really looking forward to playing around with this. It gives me this sort of Middle Eastern look that I'm really digging. And I'm looking forward to using this more as we build out the park more thoroughly. Coming on down into the plaza, we have a couple of restaurants around here. We have some gift shops, we have some restrooms, we have ticket sales, that sort of thing. And heading through the tunnel, assuming that you can, we enter into the main area of the park. And if we zoom out here, I can give you an idea as to the layout of the park that I'm hoping to build in the future. We've only got a couple of areas built so far, but as you can see, this is my general plan here. So I wanted to build it like a tree. I wanted it to be very organic, and I wanted to divide the area roughly into equal segments, each segment representing a different continent or area where I would be getting animals from. So this is the African section here, which is further divided into Southern African, West African, East African, and North African. And then I'd be building a big safari ride here where it would cover the majority of the African animals, similar to the Kilimanjaro safaris of Disney's Animal Kingdom. Moving on from that, this is the European section here. I want to lay this out so that it goes from east to west, or west to east rather, moving towards Asia, as it would geographically. Then up here we have Asia. A large portion of the Asian section is taken up with this big mountain here. This was generated randomly when I was doing the map. I may keep it in to make Mount Fuji, or I may get rid of it. It's kind of a cool feature, but it also takes up a lot of real estate in this area. Next to Asia, we have the North American section over here. This is going to be having all of the animals from North America, and here's the South American one for the animals from South America. And this here is going to be the Mesozoic Menagerie. The Mesozoic Menagerie is showcasing animals that were alive during the time of the dinosaurs or even predated them in some cases. And I think I might dip into Prehistoric Kingdom to get some actual dinosaurs involved in this or not. If you want to see me do that, go ahead and leave me a comment down below and let me know if you want to see the actual dinosaurs in the Mesozoic Menagerie, or if you just want regular Planet Zoo animals. But that's where I'm planning on having the Mesozoic Menagerie, is right around in this area. If we zoom in back down to ground level over here on our right, that's the Mesozoic Menagerie. And part of that is swampys. There's the Mesozoic Menagerie. Here's swampys. Swampys has a chief beef. It's got a gulpy. It's got a Mr. Freet. And it's a real popular place around here. And then walking out from here, you've got this little patio deck area with seating that you can sit and overlook the alligators, which we'll take a look at in a moment. I like using the paths to make these sorts of deck areas so that I can put the tables in and I don't have to worry about them clipping or anything like that. They can actually be used. So down below us here, these are our alligators. I've got 5 gators in here right now. Where's the big boy? There he is. There's the big boy. This is our big boy gator, our big male. What's your name, buddy? Your name is Tahoma. Okay, cool. Yeah, we've got a bunch of alligators in here, and Tahoma here's our big boy. I'd like to try to decorate all of these enclosures in this area with prehistoric type plants. So you'll see a lot of tree ferns, a lot of palms, cycads, some cedars and cypress, and that sort of thing in the Mesozoic menagerie area. Heading back down Main Street now, if we take a right around the corner, we come up on the Nile Monitors, which we have down below us here. There are 3 Nile Monitors, and these lizards are not themselves ancient, but they do come from an ancient lineage. It was actually monitor lizards that gave rise to mosasaurs back in the day. And here's one going for a swim right now, so give it a couple million years, we'll have a couple of mosasaurs again. And I gave them this little pool to swim around in, nice little waterfall there, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with how that enclosure came out. Coming around the corner, we're entering into our area for the Galapagos tortoises. Galapagos tortoises are the largest species of tortoise in the world. They can get up to 3.5 feet high, weigh over 900 pounds, and tortoises are evolutionarily very old. They go all the way back to the Triassic, so they outdate dinosaurs by about 60 million years. So it's pretty impressive. I did build that little rock shelter for the tortoises to just kind of hang out in. We have 4 tortoises in here. And I really wanted to have the ability for guests to be able to walk through all the possible enclosures that allow them to walk through so they can get up close and personal with the animals. Over on our right, these are gharials. Gharials are a type of crocodile from India. They're not particularly ancient in and of themselves, but they look a lot like a sarcosuchus. I've got 2 big male gharials, and I've got 6 females. And look at this guy. I mean, tell me this doesn't look like a dinosaur. I mean, this is an archosaur at its best. Heading around the corner, this is where I have all of the keeper huts and the backstage stuff for the Mesozoic menagerie. I've got the keeper hut, the veterinary, the break room, all the stuff that's needed. I got one of everything in this area. I like to try and keep them all together so that when I set up work zones, I don't have to worry about including them or missing one by accident. And I like to hide them behind these sort of topiary bushes with a lot of overgrowth over the front of it, though I do catch some heat from the guests about it being visible down the walkway. I don't know how to prevent that. Coming around the corner here, we're going back to Main Street, and across the way, this is the South African section. We've got 2 main animals for the South African section. Over on our right, these are flamingos. These are great flamingos. We've got 17 flamingos inside this enclosure here, and people can pass through the enclosure on their way over into the African section as well. There's a lot of traffic because there's a restaurant on the other side as well as restrooms. And then as we come back down on the other side of the bridge, over here on our left, these are the African penguins. If we zoom in here, you can just about see them swimming around here. We've got 7 African penguins just hanging out in this area. And you can also view the penguins from up top on top of this hill here, so you can see them out of the water. I like the idea of having at least 2 viewports for the animals when possible, so that guests can experience them in different ways. So, for example, over here on our left, if you come up the ramp and you follow the walkway around, you can look down on our mandrill exhibit, which this is now Western Africa section. These are the mandrills in here. And I've themed this to look like the Congo. I have some rocks for them to climb on, and I put decals on the walls to help out with sort of aging them a little bit. And you can see we've got a view from up here. There's also one from down below. Down here, we have a little food stall area where we've got some juice, pizza stand, smoothies. We got an ATM, restrooms. And if we circle around on the outside here, you'll get a good look at the mandrills from ground level. So you can see them down here at ground level. You can also see them from up on the walkway. Same thing here. These are chimpanzees. You can see them on this raised walkway. And I wanted this to be a specific height because it's going to be the same height as the eye level as the chimps when they're on their climbing stand there. When I build chimpanzee exhibits, I can hardly tell if they're watching us or we're watching them. So I wanted it to have it be where the chimps can sit over here on their platform and be at eye level with the guests on the bridge here. Down below, you can also see the chimpanzees from ground level. I have one-way glass at the other end of the enclosure here so you can see the chimps without disturbing them. And yeah, so that's our chimpanzee exhibit. And as we come over this way, behind us, it doesn't look like much right now, but this is actually going to be Mount Kilimanjaro eventually, or a representation of it anyway. The terrain tools in this game aren't as refined as the ones in Prehistoric Kingdom, so getting the exact shape is a little bit more difficult. But this is going to be Mount Kilimanjaro eventually, and the reason that I wanted this is not just as a set piece, but also because it's functional. Because inside of the mountain, we zoom in here, we have all the keeper huts and stuff inside here for the Southern Africa section of the park. So I've hidden it inside Mount Kilimanjaro, which you'll be able to see from the outside, but you don't see the work zones and stuff from the outside. All right, coming back out. Over here on our left, this is our first combined exhibit. These are Meerkats and Aardvarks, and they get enrichment from being in the same enclosure. And this one here, again, you can view them from the sides, you can see over the fence, but I also set it up so that this level is slightly lower than ground level, meaning that when you come in here, you should be able to see them just about on eye level with the meerkats and the aardvarks. I would love to be able to have a section where you can see them underground, but I haven't quite figured out how to do that just yet. So this is as good as it's going to get for right now. But you can have them at almost eye level, so that's pretty cool. And that's pretty much going to wrap it up for the Wild World, for at least for now. If you enjoyed today's episode, go ahead and hit that like button. Let me know if you want to see more of the Wild World content. And of course, feel free to subscribe for more of it coming down the line. We are going to be continuing with Pure Imagination pretty soon. I just kind of needed to wash my brain a little bit. But until next time, I am the Pompkin King, and I will see you later.